The U.S. Supreme Court will hear cases challenging the constitutionality of states and local governments banning certain types of firearms that are commonly owned. Welcome back to the States. I'm Greg Bishop. Tuesday afternoon, the High Court agreed to hear arguments in Viramontes v. Cook County. That's in Illinois County and Illinois' gun ban. That's a case based where some local ordinances have banned these firearms, but also Illinois has banned them statewide. Now, Cook County in Illinois banned assault weapons nearly 20 years ago, Illinois implementing its ban in 2023. Now, the Supreme Court also agreed to take up a case out of Connecticut dealing with firearms bans. The question there is whether the Second and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution guarantee the right to possess semi-automatic rifles that are in common use for lawful purposes, including the most popular rifle in the country, the AR-15. Now, after the orders were announced that justices will tackle that question, many gun owners across the country are grappling with. I talked with the Second Amendment Foundation founder, Alan Gottlieb. Now let's talk with Alan Gottlieb. He is with the Second Amendment Foundation. And Alan, some big things happening with Second Amendment rights and challenges to a variety of different laws. We've seen, of course, the big rulings that have come down from the U.S. Supreme Court, all while people were waiting for months as to whether they're going to take up challenges to gun bans. What did they issue yesterday, or Tuesday rather, on their orders list concerning Illinois and Connecticut?
Well, the Supreme Court of the United States took two of the Second Amendment Foundation cases, two very important cases, challenging the assault weapon bans in Cook County, Illinois, and the state of Connecticut, and they consolidated them both to hear them in the next session. We're really excited about it. Quite honestly, it's long overdue. We've been waiting, and now that they've taken them, it's going to be great because a right delayed is a right denied.
A lot of these cases have been circulating for quite some time in the judiciary. What kind of indication have you seen from the court thus far, especially this term, with the case out of Hawaii, the case concerning nonviolent drug users? What does that tell you about the trajectory of the issue of whether or not a state can ban people carrying firearms, or not carrying firearms, but purchasing certain types of firearms, like semi-automatic rifles?
Yeah, I feel really good based on the signals we got from the Supreme Court this year. For the next session, I think we're going to be very happy with the results. There's no doubt in my mind, I believe that those bans are going to bite the dust. I don't think the Supreme Court would have taken this case if they weren't going to overturn the bans. You know, it takes 4 justices out of the 9 to hear a case. It takes 5 to win it. And I really believe we've got more than the 5 to win it.
Something else that happened with the U.S. Supreme Court and these writs for requests to take these cases. There was one concerning adults between the age of 18 and 20 and whether or not they have the ability to purchase or carry certain types of firearms. What happened in this case?
Yeah, this is also a Second Amendment Foundation case out of Pennsylvania. We won it twice at the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. The state of Pennsylvania appealed it, and the Supreme Court denied their cert, meaning our victory decisions on the Third Circuit stand. This case basically in Pennsylvania, 18 to 20-year-olds were not allowed to carry firearms, and the courts basically ruled that they have rights as young adults. They're protected by the Second Amendment.
So what does that mean for other states that may have these types of laws in place?
Yeah, we have challenges against other states that have these laws in place as well. What this ruling probably means is that we're going to win every single case.
Alan, obviously, we've been waiting for a long time for some of these cases to get to where they are right now. How much more do you think people are going to have to wait, especially on the issue of whether or not states can ban certain types of firearms from possession?
Well, taking the case, granting a cert, they hear it in the next session, which starts next October. We probably won't get a decision in that until about next June. So it's about a year from now that's how long it's going to take.
Do you think that's going to hold off some of these other cases that are still being dealt with in the lower courts? I'm thinking of another one out of Illinois in the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. They've been sitting on that case where a district judge said it was unconstitutional. They've had that case and heard it in September. Here we are now. It's July.
Yeah, I have a feeling everything's going to be on hold on the gun ban cases around the country until the Supreme Court issues their final opinion, probably around next June. So everything's probably just going to be just on hold.
Alan Gottlieb with the Second Amendment Foundation. Greatly appreciate you taking the time here with the states. Now, on the issue of the U.S. Supreme Court taking up the case, John Schmidt, GPAC Executive Board member, released this statement. He said the Supreme Court will decide an issue on which 6 federal courts have already agreed that the Second Amendment allows a ban on guns with enhanced lethal features designed for military assault. He further said, "We believe those decisions are right under the Constitution and consistent with the long-standing American history of banning weapons from Bowie knives to machine guns that are exceptionally dangerous and not needed or used for self-defense." He said, while this case is before the Supreme Court, the Illinois law remains fully in effect, and the sale of these weapons remains unlawful in our state. Abby Clements, co-founder of Teachers Unified to End Gun Violence, released this statement after the Supreme Court took up those cases. She said, "The simple fact is that we've had fewer mass shootings, and mass shootings were less deadly when we had a federal assault weapons ban in place. With the Supreme Court opening the door to striking down more state bans, we know what the result will be: more mass shootings and more gun deaths." And while it's not expected the Supreme Court cases will be heard until later this year or early next year, a ruling on the case may not come out until about this time next year. Meanwhile, legal battles continue on this and other Second Amendment issues all throughout the states. Get the latest by subscribing here and with the newsletter at thecentersquare.com.